And so we are just loading in now for the French Grand Prix. 18 minutes short qualifying session around here. We can see we've got most drivers already readied up. Now Staja we're just waiting for. We'll get ready to get underway. Hopefully everyone's enjoying the stream so far. 21 people watching it. Lovely indeed. As here we are, 5 seconds to go, and then we will see the start of qualifying. Hopefully all the audio is okay and you can hear everything that's going on. Once we do load in, we'll see what the weather's like, because I know that France can prepare up some rain. Seems like it's a little bit wet. It's a bit cloudy. That's a better way of putting it. A slight bit of cloud above the circuit. Could possibly spell some rain at some point. I'll bring up the tyre detail for you here. We'll see what tyres the drivers are opting to go on. Of course, dynamic weather, so we could see some rain come race time. Unfortunately, we've lost Skillers in the Mercedes pretty early on, but we do have some cars coming out of the pit lane. One of them being Lord Gabe N. Is actually going to be Nugget Box. Be the first one out on circuit, is it? I'm not too sure. Let me bring up the track map here, and we'll see it is an Aston Martin car, so it is Tixie, if I'm not mistaken. Yeah, Tixie's just pulling out of the pit lane now. There we are. 3 cars coming out all in tandem. Just going to change over my window here. Okay, so we've got a little bit of information here. Dry quali is going to be a wet race, so a lot of these drivers, they might not have the most representative pace in the world when it comes to in terms of the laps. And, of course, that will be due to the fact that they're likely running wet setups, which means they're going to be a bit limited in how quick they can go in the dry, but it is optimized for the wet weather conditions. So Tixie is the first one out at the moment. Lord Gaben just behind him, or her. I think I'll stick to the neutral pronouns of they. So Lord Gaben's actually going to go past them. There it is. So trying to take initiative, trying to take control into turn number 10. Because they're not fighting yet. They're not fighting at all in qualifying. Because they've got to bring that once the race comes along. Looking on here. Just waiting for Gaben to begin this lap. Both Aston Martin cars in behind as well. It's going to be a healthy dose of clear air for the McLaren car coming through turn 14 now. See the yellow flags. That's just drivers backing off, trying to get as much room as they possibly can, so they don't accidentally impede themselves on the other car. And here is Gabe N getting his lap in towards turn number 1 here. The fast left-hander swinging the car in through the chicane and then running it out wide to begin this short little straight down towards turn 3, which is a pretty quick right-hander. You want to go down to about 3rd gear. One of the slowest parts on the circuit is just at this point. And we'll see what the first sector time is. 22.379 through turn number 7 and onto the Mistral straight. One of the longest straights possibly on the F1 calendar. So here they go, in towards turn number 8. Tixie just in behind as well, not giving themselves too much room to work with, as Gaben riding the curves off the exit. And they've got an Alfa Tauri car just in front. They're going to pull off to the right hand side. That's Dicta, as Lord Gabe N through turn number 10. We missed the sector 2 time through turn 11 and up towards turn number 12, the double apex. Swinging it left, very twisty 3rd sector. Cascading down towards turn 13 and 14. Just got one last braking zone. Lord Gaben, 14 minutes left to go. On a set of the soft compound tyres. Going to be the first one to complete a lap here. Tixie right in behind. So we'll see. Across the line, so 29.8. What about Tixie? And I believe that might be invalid for Tixie. I wonder if they're going to go for a second run here in a row. I believe that could be the case. Nugget Box goes second fastest. I guess we could try and catch someone on their runs. As Tixie's just begun theirs. Dicta's just begun their lap 2. Ade unfortunately invalidated their lap. It wasn't going to be a competitive one anyways. As we'll follow along with Bubbles here. Through the third sector now in Ferrari car. Very competitive in real life at the moment. Is this Ferrari, of course. I believe Charles Leclerc starting pretty high up on the United States Grand Prix grid, which is just in a few hours' time. So I hope everyone who's watching this now, they're going to enjoy that later on this evening. As Bubbles right on the curb through turn 14 and turn 15 now off the exit in the Ferrari car. Cello's just begun their lap in front. Let's see what Bubbles can do towards the line. And it's going to be a 30.132. Still a good few tenths slower than Gabe N. But at least it is quicker than Nugget Box. Danny Mike goes into third position. Towards Cello on their lap. Beautiful Turkish Grand Prix livery here. Of course, the Honda Tribute that they've got going on. I love this livery. I really do. And it is a purple first sector for the Red Bull car race winner at round number 1 in Bahrain. They could be looking to take their second win of the season. Coming through now, turn at number 8. More drivers finishing up on their laps. I believe Dicta just finished their run. I think that was in the AlphaTauri with a 30.594. As Cello through here. Turn 11 coming up now. Ade's just finished on a lap. So they've done 2 runs on that same set of the soft compound of tyre. Here we are riding on board Honda powered Red Bull car, special livery, love to admire really. With 11 minutes to go, let me qualify session just at the just a little bit over the halfway point. There it is through the final corner. Cello off the exit, opening up the DRS as he come across the line. Is it going to be quicker than Gabe N? And it's not. So far, Gabe N, the only driver to be able to get into the 1 minute 29s. Emzo, unfortunately, is invalidated on this lap, but I'd imagine they're going to go for a second run here because, well, they are pushing. What would the time been? 30.0. Competitive from Emzo. We'll see if they are going to continue to push. I'd imagine if they weren't going to go for another lap, then they would just pull back into the pit lane. See Noel Carman just a little bit behind the Red Bull, so we'll follow Emzo. We just watched their teammate Cello come to 4th position, only 200ths off of Danny Mite, currently in 3rd place, but it is purple for Emzo here. Got to watch for the Mercedes drivers as well. They're on their outlaps or on a run, so a lot of these drivers getting their first or second laps. We'll see Emzo right on board through the chicane. Got Narastarja just in front of them. Off the exit, Narastarja does a good job to get out of the way of Emzo. Championship rivals at the moment, just 6 points separate them at this current moment, and Emzo has gone purple through sector 2, so it's looking really good for the Red Bull driver. Not taking a win so far this season. Only 2 podiums to their name and all, that's unfortunate. An invalidation. And unfortunately that's going to be the end of Emzo's lap, and it was looking really solid as well. So that means we'll follow along with Noel Carman. Yet to score in this championship for the Williams team. Only 1 point between the pair of them, so we'll see what the Williams driver can do, as it has been a valid lap for Noel. And in towards the start-finish line. What's it going to be? It's going to be second. Wow. Just a few thousandths off. Let's just change that to the gap to leader. 7 thousandths of a second. And Skillers smashed that out of the water with a 29.789. Really competitive. Tixie's just begun on their lap, but I think we'll follow Narastarja. Was last week's race winner on this run. Yellow flags in sector 1. That's one of the Ferrari cars going slowly, I'd imagine, just to let all the others through. And we'll see Narastarja through here, turn number 3. And on the run up towards turn 4, 5, and up to 6 here. It's not been purple, and unfortunately it's been invalid. So the time going down the drain for Narastarja. You see backing off there, letting other drivers through. Tixie was already in front of them. see what the Aston Martin car can do. Looked competitive, looked quicker than Gaben on their last lap. Of course, that was invalid, so did not count. It's a 49.4 on this run, which is similar to the likes of Enzo, who was purple as well, and was really competitive from validating in the third sector. 8 minutes to go left in this qualifying session. 3 drivers yet to set laps. Tixi is one of them, and currently coming through the final sector, and has managed to keep this lap valid through turn 14. Locking the fronts there, the front left I believe that was. Out the final corner, a little bit of a wiggle on the exit, opening up the DRS to blaze it down the straight. And to finish up on this run, what's it going to be? Wow, 6 tenths. Just under actually, 6 tenths quicker than Skillers. Brilliant stuff from him there. Nugget box goes to the top. It's a 1-2 front row lockout for Aston Martin. I did not see that one coming there. As we'll see Gaben just about to cross the line as well. Does find an improvement of just over a 10.5, but it is not enough to triumph any of the Aston Martin cars, who are ahead by miles at this point. What about Narastaja? Have they opted to go for another push lap? I believe so. Narastaja in the Mercedes car. He's got Lord Gaben just in front of them. Gaben pulling off to the left-hand side so as to not impede the flying Mercedes car here. The Black Arrow opening up the DRS for the Mistral straight. Gaben just following in behind, but not on a push lap. A couple more drivers have begun their runs. Now Starja through turn number 8. It's been nice so far. What's it going to be? Ooh, that's quicker. I know for a fact that that is quicker than Tixi. Narastaja through turn number 10 now, and up towards the double apex, turn 11. Looking really clean at this point. Running low on fuel might be a bit struggle for them to get back, because they have done 2 laps in a row. You can see just on the left hand side of your screens it's saying 1 lap next to the indicator, which means he has used this for already 1 set. So a little bit of a slide through there. Gaben putting into the pits. It looked like he was going right to a barrier, but off the exit now Staja looked very competitive on this run, and to cross the line, can he triumph any of the Aston Martin cars? He splits them by 0.004 of a second quicker than Tixi, and he's done that lap slightly later, so that could be advantage Tixi. Of course, track evolution is going to be helping out a lot there. Cello is currently improving on their lap by just under 0.2 of a second, so this could be a stoic rise up the grid for Cello if they can make use of this up in towards the start-finish line. What's it going to be for the Red Bull car? And that is just a little bit slower than Skillers. 7th fastest at this moment in time. What about Enzo, who has looked to be the quickest so far this season? 6 points ahead of Narastaja in the championship. We'll see what the Red Bull car can do. As off the exit of the corner here, and to cross the line, Enzo, what's it going to be? Oh, it's going to be 4th fastest. Still quite a ways off of the likes of Tixi and Nugget Box of Narastaja. But I'd say won't be the best time there, as Danny might cross the line. Not enough to go ahead of any of the other rivals, aside from Linus, who's not really looking like they're on a good run here. But I believe that they're going to start on a lap here. As I do apologise, my controller disconnected. But there we are, my plug just came a little bit loose. That might happen a couple of times. So I do apologise if that does happen. As Noel Carman has gone purple through the 2nd sector. So we'll see what the Williams can do. Currently in 9th. I wonder what that means before the start of their race. I'd imagine in wet conditions. Of course, we know that this race is going to be wet. I'd imagine in the wet weather conditions, really the further you start up, the better. It's very difficult to overtake in the wet, so these drivers need to fight for every position that they can take. And with this improvement, even if it's just a 10th, you could be jumping up towards 6th position to cross the line. Noel Carman, what's it going to be? It is going to be 6th position, as I predicted. And I've got a gleaming grin right across my face over that one. Brilliant stuff from Noel Carman. Interesting lines to save time getting back to the pits. I guess they want I guess they really want to change their tyres and come out for one more run. Follow Linus, currently coming through the third sector at the moment. It's got Danny Mike just in front, but I believe Danny Mike is coming into the pit lane. Leaves current drive the only one not to go into the 1 minute 29s yet on a lap. Very close competitive grid, I will hand it to them. They've managed to keep it very tight knit from about fourth downwards. Only a couple tenths separating them. Bubbles does join them in that array. Let's just get a gap to the leader. Entire field separated by 8/10 of a second. But how about that? Fourth down to 12th, 3/10, I would say. Yes, 3/10. Really close gap. So this kind of leaves a little bit of a lull period in where we are. We do have drivers on outlaps. One of them being the current fastest driver at this point of Nugget Box. Now, Nugget Box got a clear track in front of them. Aside from Ade, I believe he's just come to the pit lane for Ferrari. Here he goes. Just through the final sector. This is likely going to be their last run in this session. Just have a quick little drink of water there. We'll get this lap underway for Nugget Box. In towards turn number 1. I'll just quickly get the details back up. There we are. We'll see what lap can be put out from Nugget Box through the first 2 corners here. We could be witnessing a pole time first hand. Narastaja, I was actually Skillers just beginning a lap in behind as through the first sector, the very twisty part here, and up towards oh dear, invalidation, didn't even realise that one. We'll watch Skillers though. Managed to find an improvement on their run. I wonder if they were actually pushing on a lap. I imagine because they are regenerated. I actually missed that one there. I do apologise then. Skillers was pushing on a lap. Well, at least we can watch Tixie. So, what can Tixie do? Well, Tixie's only 4,000 back from Narastaja. So if both of these guys improve, it could come down to just the slightest different angle coming into a corner, maybe a couple kilometers per hour. Really could change everything. Could change the entire complexion, whether it's going to be a 1-2 for Aston Martin. Because currently Nugget Box pretty clear out on top at the moment. I believe Nugget Box is going to be able to get another run in. Here we are. Tixie looking very competitive at the moment. Because through the first sector, almost 2/10 improvement. Got no slipstream in front of them. And imagine Narastaja can get a slight bit of the air coming off the back of the Aston Martin car. But Tixie looking very competitive through turn number 8 and 9. There we are to begin the third sector. Wow, 0.3 of a second is Tixie up on their previous best time. And this could be the pole lap here that we are witnessing firsthand, everybody, as through turn number 11. Switching it down towards turn number 12, hitting the apex and coming off here to start turn 13. The clock has struck 0, so if not on a lap, then you're not going to be able to start anymore. You can finish the laps that you are on, and Tixie is one of these drivers, going to be the first one to complete their final run. They've improved in every single sector coming into this lap. It's across the line. Tixie, what's it going to be? It's going to be a 28.781. What about Narastaja? Close, but not close enough, ahead of Nugget Box, who is in the final sector here. Emzo is unfortunately invalid on their lap. What about Cello? Goes into 5th position. As we got Ferrari in the final sector, but I think we just got to watch Nugget Box because they can compete with Narastaja. It's got to be a perfect final sector for the Aston Martin car if they want to start a 1-2 for Aston Martin. This really could help their championship hopes here. As through turn number 15, off the exit of the corner, Dictor has gone into 2nd position, but now coming across the line, Nugget Box, what's it gonna be? It is gonna be quicker as a 1-2 for Aston Martin. What if any of these other drivers can say about it? Noel Coleman is going to be the next one to finish up on their lap. It's not looking like it's going to be too close to the ones at the very top, but at least can be some improvement to move them up a few positions. As off the exit of the corner, the Williams car rises opening up the DRS. It is going to be an improvement and up towards 8th position, splitting the Red Bull cars. What about Dynamite? Can they find an improvement there? I don't believe they have. And that is going to bring qualifying to an end for the SRL French Grand Prix. We're going to head into a 27-lap race after this one here. And you can see, there they are. We've got Tixi on pole position by 2/10 of a second. Pretty decent. 2 nugget box in behind. So Tixi looking like the clear favourite into this race. And Narastasia in 3rd. Dicta in 4th. Lord Gaben in 5th. And then the Wall of Swedes. We've got Skillers, Cello, Noel, Emzo, Dynamite and Bubbles. And then Ade was the last driver to put in a lap. 12 cars starting this race. But I will pull you over to the intermission screen. What a qualifying session we have just witnessed, as we are going to be heading into a 27-lap race in wet weather conditions. Now, what does that mean for our drivers today? Well, that means they have 2 options of the tyres. They've got the intermediates, and then they've got the full wet tyres that they can use. I'd imagine if it's just slight rain, then we'll be seeing the inters. If it's going to be very heavy, well, then you've got to expect the full wets. I've got my screen on at the moment, and I see what tyres are in the garage. It's looking pretty rainy out there. Once I begin the formation lap, I will bring you over to the race screen. I'm trying to read the chat here. Of course, it's all in, I believe, Finnish. I don't know any Finnish. But I've seen Narastasia something Rainmaster. So possibly that could hint at Narastasia being very quick in the wet. Okay, yeah, I can read that. We've got Narastasia fan club here. So a lot of support for the Mercedes driver, as they are beginning their formation lap now. So I'll pull you back over to the game scene. So here they are. Very dreary and drab conditions. We'll have a look at the tyres that they've opted for. You can see they're all on the intermediates. So they've got to run this formation lap. We'll see what is in store for them here. It's not too much really to go over in the formation lap, if I'm honest with you. But I guess we can have a little think about the strategy, what drivers want to do. I'd imagine they can't go to the end. Obviously at the inters, they must pit at some point. You can see the predicted pit stop strategy on your screens now. 13 to 15. Pretty much the halfway point in this Grand Prix. Actually at the halfway point, lap 14 is when we're likely to see some of these guys come into the pit lane. It is all going to be really about who gets the run down to turn 1, I would imagine. If Narastasia can jump at least one of the Aston Martin cars, I'd say that's going to put them in very strong stead coming into this race. But if the Aston Martins maintain position, they can work together very well, and then and essentially just pull away. Narastasia's not got the luxury of having a teammate all too close to them. They've got Skillers down in 6th. I also realised we've actually got a second driver for McLaren, Viberg. Hope I say that one right. He's in 13th, and they've just joined mid-session in qualifying. They weren't able to take control of the car and put in a lap, but at least they get to begin this race. So we are the 2 Aston Martin cars pulling in to their grid slots now. We'll follow Viberg. A lot of rain detail on that McLaren car. I don't think I've ever noticed that before. We just need to wait until they pull into their grid slots, and then we can get racing here in the Scandinavian Racing League. It all falls silent. As you can see, Viberg and Ade just parking their cars. The crowd are beginning to ramp up. We've got the 5 red lights here in France. We're underway for the third round of SRL, and it looks like a brilliant start from Tixie. Already going to clear his teammate in towards turn number 1. Narastarja could be looking to challenge the Aston Martin car into the first braking zone. Lord Gaben has had a stormer of a start, but it's actually Dictor as well, trying to fight against Narastarja. The top 3 all maintain position, and it's a melee further back behind. We see Dynamite spinning off almost into the barriers there, as here goes Dictor up the inside line of Lord Gaben. Those two fighting throughout the first sector, as almost 3 abreast, because Noel Coleman tries to slip away through and goes up the inside, making the switchback move work. Manages to take Dictor. Brilliant stuff there. Dictor going for a slide, trying to get the car beneath him, but it's not enough. It's Noel Coleman off the exit there, struggling to keep grip, and they're all going to go cascading down in towards turn number 8. Narastarja looking onto the back of Nugget Box, but we're seeing more battles further back behind, because here goes Skillers up the inside of V-Bug. Almost contact between the pair of them. The Mercedes got had an awful start in this race, and contact once again. There could be some damage on that Mercedes front wing, as here comes Ade in towards turn number 10. V-Bug defending their 3 abreast in towards the flat out. Oh my goodness me, the flat out right-hander. Ade almost gone for a spin. Skillers off the circuit, and they're still wheel to wheel. Skillers shuts the door, and Ade has to settle for 10th. As all Ade's unfortunately dropped the car there on the power. Really unfortunate scenes as lap number 1 rolls on. Tixie currently leading at this point. Nugget Box in second, and then Narastarja in third, and they've got a big gap back behind to Lord Gaben. So the top 3 already breaking away from the rest, as we saw them do so in qualifying as well. What can Narastarja do at this point in this race? Well, really, they've got to go as quick as they can to I'd imagine throughout the entire race you want to be doing that, but they have to clear one of the Aston Martin cars, because those Aston Martins together, they can be lethal. Lord Gaben already takes a 3-second time penalty for multiple track limits. Really unfortunate, as they fly through turn number 6 and turn number 7, and off the exit here, using some of their overtake. Narastarja in towards turn number 8 has got the run on Nugget Box into the braking zone. Here they come. They got to brake a little bit earlier than they would in the dry, and you can see the cars coming into frame there. Narastarja up into P2 now, but Nugget Box off the exit could have something to say about it, trying to fight against the Mercedes, who's just overtaken them. All this battling has allowed for Tixie to also break away, because now it's 1.6 seconds as well. I think we've seen Dictor go around. The VFC has come out as well. Skillers leaving the session. I wonder if they've got any damage to their front wing. Don't believe so. That brings a halt to the action. Oh, Ade. Oh, it might be an Ade going around. Looking very slow, but I believe they're okay. Now we just got to wait. It's a waiting game. But the drivers will get notification as to when they're restarting. We do not. Maybe that would be a nice feature for Codemasters to add. Skillers manages to get back into the session here. So I'd assume it's just a lag out, I'd imagine. Because here we are. When are they going to get going again? You can see the pit stop strategy once again appearing on your screen. Now they're picking up speed down the straight, so I'd imagine they are going to get ready to go. Dictor going to take the opportunity to pit. Interesting there. Oh dear, Bubbles has got a drive-through penalty for speeding under the VSC. Yes, here they are. They're back underway racing, and Lord Gaben has done a brilliant job of catching up to the likes of Narastarja and Nugget Box. I believe we might have a couple more. Oh wow, 3 drivers actually have drive-through penalties. Dynamite, Linus, and Cello. Really unfortunate, that one. Of course, Lord Gaben with a 3-second time penalty to their name. And once again, more slides. Ade, oh dear, how they lost that car out of this race. Interestingly, Dictor's gone onto a second stop. I'm not sure they meant to do that. Here they are, coming through turn number 8, I think this is, yeah. And turn 9, they're already beginning to split out. It seems like Nugget Box just doesn't have great pace in the wet, because they're already losing quite a bit of time to Narastarja. Lord Gaben's going to be the one to try and take advantage of this, because in towards turn number 11 could see another battle. Lord Gaben not looking up the inside. losing a bit of time actually through here. Nuggetbox has managed to get the car beneath them. It's taking a nice run. It seems like the rain is still beginning to fall pretty heavily. There is some break in the clouds, a little bit more light in the sky, and we could be seeing dry conditions at some point in this race. Noel Coleman has also managed to catch the battle for this P3 at the moment, because Narastarja sort of slipped away, and is currently the fastest man out on circuit. Fastest lap to their name. They had that last week as well. So Narastarja really looking to take the championship by the horns, and I imagine that with a result like this, they will be overtaking Enzo through turn number 3. We're watching the battle for third. Nuggetbox, Lord Gaben and Noel Coleman all in this fray. A little bit further back is Cello. Not too far though, so they could, if any of these guys have a bust up together, then he could take advantage and overtake all of them. We'll just have to see what goes on here. No DRS of course in the rain, and already the rain actually does seem to be getting quite a bit lighter. So unfortunately Vibo's gone for a spin further back behind. Here we are. What can one of these guys do? Lap 4. We've still got a long way in this race, to be fair. The rain already is beginning to lighten up visually. On the formation lap, you can see it was a lot heavier than this. And it's almost at the point where it's not raining at all. And I mean, probably going to be about 1 or 2 laps before we see dry running. Dicta obviously predicted this, and it just did not work out in their favour, as we saw, because they're way down the order. And already the track, I believe, is beginning to dry up ever so slightly. The rain has stopped here, but that is not a call for the drivers to come into the pit lane and fit on a set of the slicks. Cello has taken that advantage. I believe they're actually subbing their drive-through here. Narastarja sets the fast lap of the race yet again in their pursuit of Tixie. With drying conditions, I wonder who has got the better pace. Seems like at the moment Narastarja is going to be the one to track down and hunt Tixie. Not too much action really to call at the moment, but we are seeing drying conditions. The track visually is still pretty wet, and times are beginning to fall off, so the intermediates are becoming less viable as time goes on. No DRS has been enabled yet though. That is going to be the key takeaway, I'd imagine. The fact that we haven't seen DRS enabled here at the top of our screens. That sort of notifies us when it is time for the dry tyres. The crowd have just got to be patient on this one, because the rain has stopped. The umbrellas have come down in the grandstands and in the paddock as well. And it is nice and cloudy. Not blue skies yet. We could see some blue skies later on in this race. But we are seeing a change in the weather, a shift. From what I understood at the beginning, I thought we were going to have a full wet race, but it was only a short period. It's lap 5 only, coming on to lap 6, but already starting to see the track drying up. A bit of sunlight peeking through the clouds. We're riding on board with Narastarja, fighting on the back of Tixie. Currently only 8/10 back. Noel Coleman has seized the opportunity and is coming to the pit early here. Now, Noel, if he can get this strategy perfect and it dries up, snap this lap, then they are going to be in a brilliant position later on. And you can see medium tyres ready by the Williams mechanics, the only driver to come in this early. And I feel that might be saying something. I would imagine it is slightly too wet at the moment to come in for the dries. You can see. You just hear actually how much it was sliding, how much wheel spin they're getting, because of how minimal grip there is in the wet weather. Oh, sorry, in the wet track. We'll have a look. We'll run up with V-Bug. I would imagine it's going to have a greater gaze as to how much quicker these mediums are, or slower indeed. And I think that might be the case. Seems like they're almost equal. Oh no, Coleman could have had this perfect. There we go. DRS has been enabled. And now surely the intermediate tyres are going to begin to struggle. So what does this mean for the complexion of the race? Well, Noel Coleman, if it has dried up completely this time by, and other drivers are going to come in for a set of these slicks, surely they're going to be jumping the likes of Nuggetbox and Lord Gaben. the drivers that they were fighting earlier on. You can see Narastaja are all going for a slide almost off the circuit. Managed to hold on to the Mercedes car. But a heart and mouth moment for Narastaja. The Finn trying to fight onto the back of Tixie. There it is, pulling into the pit lane. Both of them here. Nugget Box is going to have to... Oh dear, Nugget Box pitting at the same time their teammate. Yeah, they're all coming into the pits. Emzo as well. Skiller's unfortunately lagging out of the session here. And their AI has continued on in this race. So, we'll watch on board with Noel Coleman here. Preying on the back of Cello. Skiller's actually set the fastest lap, even as an AI car for the last part of it. Bebo gets a 5-second time penalty for speeding. So Tixie has just pulled out the pit lane. We're riding on board with Noel Coleman. Going to come out in the path of Lord Gaben. They're going to be side by side into turn number 1. I think Noel Coleman has just about nailed it. Absolutely pitch perfect there. Strategic masterclass to overtake Lord Gaben. Nugget Box in 6th now. A long way back from the McLaren and Williams. And because Skiller's rejoined the session, we haven't got any deltas at the moment, but we do have a visual battle going on between Narastaja and Tixie. Narastaja having to go a long way around through turn number 8. Going to have the inside for turn 9. Ooh, cut off there. And the door slams shut in their face. But of course, on the Red Bull soft compound of tyre, Narastaja is going to be very quick in comparison to Tixie. And you can already see purple sector 2. So it really is dry conditions from this point onwards in the race. What can Narastaja do? They're going to have the advantage at this point. Still sliding. There's still a slight bit of dampness to the circuit. And I imagine that he can't go at their full potential yet. But that doesn't mean that it won't dry up at all in this race, as Skillers does come into the pit lane. That's going to unleash Tixie and Narastaja. We're a long ways ahead of Noel Coleman and Lord Gaben. So here they go. Narastaja, fastest lap of this Grand Prix, and into turn number 1. Not close enough to make an overtake, but possibly in towards turn number 3 or down the Mistral Straight. This is a raging battle for the lead of this Grand Prix. Of course, the advantage will swing back the way of Tixie later on in this race. But that doesn't mean that Narastaja doesn't want to take their opportunities as they come, because off the exit of turn number 6 and through turn 7, DRS is going to be enabled for Narastaja. Pulling to the inside is Tixie, and down the straight they're going to ride wing to nose, and pulling out of the slipstream to go for the overtake goes Narastaja. Can Tixie fight this one back off the exit? Oh, a slide there for the Aston Martin car. And I'd say that's the final nail in the coffin. Narastaja on the fresher, soft compound of tyre, going to be able to pull away, as I think we've lost Bubbles. Bubbles has had a spin. Unfortunate scenes there. So I think that Tixie's not really going to be able to close too much back up to Narastaja. I do think we'll see a brilliant battle between Noel Coleman, put up a brilliant strategic choice to overtake Lord Gaben and Nugget Box. Now holds third position, final spot on the podium. We'll see what Gaben can do with DRS as well, might I add. Fastest lap comes out from Narastaja. Here they come. Lord Gaben not close enough to go for the move in towards turn 1, but they are closing up. And I would imagine through the Mistral Straight, where they've got the long DRS zone, that's when they're going to be able to go for a move. So here they go. Out of turn number 6. Running wide is Noel Coleman there. I think Lord Gaben's not had a good time with it either. Nevertheless, DRS is going to be open for the McLaren. Down the straightaway. I don't think he's going to be close enough to go for the move. Lord Gaben closing with everything, but it's not enough. Noel Coleman just stays ahead. And the McLaren going to get a little bit impatient, I'd imagine, later on in this race. You can see turn number 10 coming around up towards turn 11. This is an unorthodox position to go for an overtake. It's almost getting his front wing chopped off. Noel Coleman running wide though, and off the exit of the corner. They're going to be wheel to wheel. Noel Coleman just about stays ahead of the McLaren car, to the frustration of Gabe N, because they are the quicker car on the hard tyres as well. Every lap that goes by, we're at 1/3 of the way through in this Grand Prix. Every lap that goes by, Gabe N is going to be gaining in pace in comparison to the medium runner of Noel in the Williams. As now Sargent once again sets the fastest lap of the race. They will have to pit at some point though in Mercedes, as here comes Gabe N as well. It's a turn number 1, having a lurching move up the inside. It could go for it. Oh, no, didn't make it work out in the end, but it was close. And all this battling between the pair of them is going to bring Nugget Box back into the action. Of course, Nugget Box setting a brilliant lap time in qualifying to go into P2. I believe just behind his teammate of Tixie. And now, yeah, you can already see 5/10 of a second. Are they going to have DRS as well? If they will. Oh, I think they have. DRS enabled down the straight. Here's Gabe N once again, round number 2 in towards turn 8. Easy as you like. But Noel Coleman, this is where he's really going to shine, because now in the slipstream off the exit, it's going to have the superior grip on the medium. I think Gabe N has just got the better drive. So Gabe N really is the lord of steam, I would imagine. Pulling off a cracking move to get ahead of his rival. What about Nugget Box? Nugget Box through here, now 4/10 per second, back from Noel. It's going to have the advantage of the fresher medium tyres. Just one lap though, so it's not too much, but of course in the wet conditions might have been taking more out of the tyres. Then they go in towards turn number 1 again. Noel Coleman now is going to be the one feeling the luxury of DRS. And you can see Gabe N is feeling the pressure. It's in towards turn number 1. 4/10 separating all of these drivers. Neither of them going to be able to go for an overtake. Having a look on their dashes just to see how they are with the ERS. Seems like they're all on similar levels. As now through turn number 6 here, we could see a 3 wide affair as Gabe N runs pretty wide through turn 6. And that could hurt their run through turn number 7. They're all going to concertina up and towards turn number 8. Are either of these guys going to go for a move on Gabe N? It doesn't seem like it. So Noel Coleman biding their time. There's one of the Alpha Tauris has gone around. I think that might have been Danny Might. Yeah, it was Danny Might. And I did know reset the track. Hopefully there are some rules surrounding that. Who knows? As neither driver has been able to go for a move through the second sector. Looking at the sun, oh dear. I was just about to say the sun has come out. And it illuminates the circuit. Still slight bit of cloud coverage overhead. But now we really are in the dry period. Skillers once again unfortunately leaving the session here. And now Noel Coleman seems to be the closer one to the driver in front. Of course, got the DRS on Gabe N. Does not have that benefit either. We'll see what is possible. Skillers sets the fastest lap again as an AI. So he's got the pace. But he's not got the position. Only in 7th at the moment. All the fighting that these guys have been doing as well has invited Enzo slightly into the fray. Only 2 seconds back, so still a long ways, I'd say, in terms of F1. Here they are, though. Closer than ever for Noel Coleman. And in towards turn number 8 here. The gap is closing visually on your screen. And into the braking zone. I think that Gabe N once again holds out. And I'd imagine this would be to the frustration of Nugget Box. Because Nugget Box feels like they're quicker. I think they're quicker than Noel. But of course, not being able to overtake in this small little DRS train has got to be frustrating. So we'll see what can be done. Got to find an overtake in an unorthodox position. So surprise Noel. see the lines that they're taking, a lot more confident with the limits that they can go to on the car. And they're closing with every turn of the wheel. You can even see through turn 14. Not close. Oh, he is close. Not close enough to make a send through turn 15. Perhaps they could have gone for the move. But now towards turn number 1. Closer than before. Oh my goodness me, and towards turn number 1. Oh, side by side contact between the pair of them. Around the outside goes Nugget Box. The door does not open. It shuts right in their face. Noel Coleman just about holds on to that one there. I think Nugget Box again feeling a little bit hard done by that one. Because they know they've got the pace. Emzo, 3-second time penalty to their name. Skillers back in the session once again. And all these zips in and out of the race really going to be frustrating them, I'd say. Because they can't maximise the pace that they have on the soft compounded tyre. There's now that little battle in towards turn number 1 has limited the opportunity that Nugget Box has got in towards this next part of the circuit. Of course, turn number 8 and 9. What about into turn 10 though? The battle for 5th, the battle for 4th, I'd say at the moment. Still, Gaben is in front, but they are beginning to pull away, I'd actually say. And Gaben is beginning to stretch the gap ever so slightly on Noel Coleman. We'll see how this one works though. Sip my water just quickly. You'll notice at the top left of your screen, now Staja has pulled into the pit lane. Take off that set of soft tyres that they were on, so they're not feeling them anymore. They want to change it. So here comes Nugget Box, now in 4th position, fighting for a spot on the podium. Not close enough to Noel Coleman, who seems to have picked up pace in comparison to Gaben. Now Gaben using a better time through the Williams car. I imagine the DRS has been very helpful in achieving that. But in saying so, Nugget Box again pulls up to the back. Through turn number 6, the understeer is immense through there when you're following 2 cars, getting 2 doses of dirty air. Taking your offboard shot in towards turn number 8. And Coleman loses a bit of time to Gaben. He's not close enough. So the battle does continue, but neither driver has been able to make the most of DRS. Of course, by either driver, I mean Noel on Nugget. 2 ends. I mean, you can count Narastaja as well in that squad. Don't know what I'm chatting about. I'm just struggling to think of things to say at this point in the race, because it's been all a lot of following. But possibly, if Narastaja, with the fresh and medium tyres, they can disrupt this party come the end of the Grand Prix, when these medium runners are really going to be feeling the effects of tyre wear. And I'd imagine they might have to pit at some point. We've already been on this set for 7 laps, now 8 laps. And they've still got another 14 to go. So it's going to be tough, but it is doable. Sorry, 13 laps to go. But it is doable in this race. Here they go, Nugget Box. Onto the back of Noel Coleman. We're watching this once again. The gap is closing. The gap is closing by quite some way. And Noel Coleman running wide through turn number 6. Through turn 7, he gets a much better drive than Nugget. And off the exit of the corner, it's actually going to be Coleman to close up more to Gaben. This really is an interesting affair between all of these drivers. Cello has managed to get past Dynamite. Cello has boxed onto a fresh set of the mediums to go to the end of this race. Now, of course, the medium runners, if they wanted to, they could box onto another set of the meets. As Vivo's gone off, unfortunately. They could box onto another set of the medium compounded tyres. And of course, that is because they started this race in inters, and so that pretty much eliminates the 2 tyre compound usage thing. The rule where you have to use a 2 separate types of compound. That can be soft to medium to hard, or soft to hard. But of course that's eliminated here, so they can go medium because they were on that intermediate tyre earlier on in this race. Here's Nugget Box, trying to fight with Coleman. Skillers, once again, leaving the session. And now 6/10 is the gap between all of these runners. Here's Nugget Box. I was on board with that one there, unfortunately. Running just a touch too wide. Results in a 3-second time penalty coming their way. And that's going to be, I'd imagine, in the Williams cockpit, it's going to be a sigh of relief for Noel Coleman. Because they don't have to worry much more about losing this position. But of course they'll want to fight this right to the very end, and Nugget Box already knows that opportunity is coming, because they're going to go for this move in towards turn number 8. We'll see with the off-board shot if they lurch up the inside line. There it is, down in towards that corner. Oh dearie me, a spin there for Nugget Box. The door just slammed shut in their face. And that is unfortunate for them. Nugget Box went for a dive up the inside of Noel Coleman. I'm unsure as to whether they were side by side and whether Nugget was permitted, whether they needed that space of being on the inside. Now they're a long, long way back from the Williams and the McLaren in front. It's really got to be a sour part of this race, and I do feel for them. I do feel for them quite a bit here, actually. Having another quick sip of my water. Here comes Noel Coleman. Now it's pretty much the closest gap we've got on circuit. Been a lot of action so far this race. We're going to enter a lull period, I'd say. As oh dear, we got a virtual safety car. Okay, the VSC's come out for some reason. I think I was. Oh, that might be why. Bubbles doesn't have a front wing. I'd imagine that is the reason why we're on the VSC. No front wing for the Ferrari car. Complete loss of downforce. It's looking like a double no points finish for them. And I'd imagine if you want to pit and take off your tyres, now is the absolute perfect time to do so. Some drivers have seized that opportunity. Viberg and Dynamite have both come into the pits, and that pretty much cuts their time as to when they need to pit. And of course the advantage of pitting in the pits is moving less time to cars around you. But of course these guys are pretty far back anyways, so it's not going to be too advantageous if I do say so myself. As DRS back enabled, we're underway. Lap 17. We're coming on to, I believe, lap 18 here at the end of this one, so 10 laps left to go in this race. We are nearing the end of the French Grand Prix. Currently Tixi is leading by 8 seconds to the back of Gabe N. But of course, it is going to be hit or miss as to whether those tyres make it to the end. 11 laps already, they've still got 10 to go. There's going to be 21 laps in total. You can tell that I passed GCSE maths. Quick thinking like that. It'll be touch and go. It could be a very late one, you know, where they get to like 90% and they're safe. The punctures can start at 75% tyre wear. And of course there are systems like tasks that come to mind. We can track the tyre wear of each driver. I'd imagine they'd be around about the 55% range. Maybe not that bad. But I'd say within a not prime range. I'm not too sure on all the technical terms, I will be honest with you. Noel Coleman, well, trailblazing up to the back in the wheel tracks of Lord Gabe N. I wasn't close enough to go for the move, and actually a loss of traction, I think, off the exit. That's caused him to run very wide there. Now could invite Emzo into this race. Quite a race so far for Emzo, our championship leader. Currently ahead of Anastasia. Of course, Anastasia is going to be closing at a rate of knots on the fresher medium tyres. So it is not over for Emzo. Could still see themselves on the podium by the end of this race. Quick look at the penalty situation. Everyone in the top 5 who have penalties. There goes Lord Gaben into the pit. Sorry, that was Noel Coleman coming to the pit lane. Let's actually just pull back up the tyre graphic there. So it's going to be, I'd imagine, a set of the softs to run to the end. And of course, in the beginning of the race, it may be a bit difficult to run the softs 9 laps. But of course, when you're later on in the Grand Prix, you're lighter on fuel, as Skillers, I think, has gone around, or there. Manages to keep out the barriers, which is crucial. But as I was saying, I think that's a bit of a wrongful penalty. Comes out just behind Cello. Those tyres, I'd imagine, they'd want to pit. Oh dear, yeah. Tyres are completely gone. That's another spin for Skillers. Going to be able to swing the car back around. Are they going to pull into the pits? No, they're going to stay out here. Okay. Well, 19 rolls on. 60 still leading. But I think they want to pit at this point. You can see, Coleman is 14 seconds behind Narastarjo. And with some fresh softs, they're going to have the supreme pace on the Mercedes. But it's going to be difficult. And you know what? I'm thinking we're actually going to see, we could see a win for Lord Gaben by going on the hards and going to the end of the race on a one-stop strategy. Could have done them a world of good. Tixie stays out. Tixie doesn't want to come in yet. Staying out the set of the medium compounded tyres. They're going to go as long as they can in this race. Lord Gaben, 10 seconds back. Enzo does pull into the pit lane. Nugget Box stays out. And of course, Narastarjo is going to be hunting down the Aston Martin car that he overtook very early on in this race. Now he's got to redo it and take the fight to him. Here they go. 20 of 27 with 8 laps to go left in this Grand Prix. Current running order is Tixie, Lord Gaben and Nugget Box. Narastarjo just off the podium at the moment, but only 4 seconds back from Nugget. And we'll see that gap still decline as Noel Coleman has just come out ahead of Enzo. But Enzo could have the better pace than Noel. We saw Noel on the medium tyres. Wasn't able to overtake Hard Runner for a long time in this race. So that could be a hint at a slightly slower pace in the dry. Because they were quick in the wet. You know, they were fighting with some of the top drivers in the wet conditions. So Noel did a bit of time to Gaben now, and now to Enzo. Of course, Enzo does have a 3-second time penalty to contend with, so if they want to keep the position over Noel, then they've got to keep the position over Noel. They've got to stretch a gap to 3 seconds. Here we are, Tixie into the pit lane now. Blinking in and out of existence for whatever reason. Lord Gaben staying out here. Nugget Box doesn't want to make the same mistake that he did here. Oh, Nugget. Oh, Nugget. They've pitted right at the same time as their teammate. Might be able to get away with no issues. And no, they're going to be held. They're going to be slow. It's a slow stop. Dixie pulls out of the pit lane behind Narastarjo. If they are able to catch the Mercedes, then they're going to be in a great position. As Vivo, unfortunately, has spun, I believe, at turn number 9. You can see Nugget Box making the same mistake again by pitting in tandem with their teammate. As they put them behind Enzo, and now they're 6 seconds back. So this race could have gone a lot better than it has been, and it's all gone down the drain. So we could see all these drives, you know. Lord Gaben, Narastarjo. Apologies, we could see it. Lord Gaben, Narastarjo, and Tixie all close up together. Right at the end of the race, all on different sets of tyres. Hard to Gaben, medium to Narastarjo, and then sticker red soft tyres is Gaben. Oh dear, 6-second penalty. So Narastarjo within 6 seconds of him now. That is going to be the position. That is the win for Narastarjo at this current moment. They're closing anyways. Someone else who's closing is Tixie. Now, of course, we saw these drivers fighting it out early on in this race, and now it's the other way around. Of course, Narastarjo was the one on the softs, Tixie on the mediums. Now the tables have completely turned here, because Narastarjo has set mediums compared to fresh softs in Tixie. Noel Coleman's a long way back from this fight. Got Enzo right behind them as well. Lap 22 of 27 has just begun. 6 6 laps left in this race. It is coming to a close very soon here. We'll see what they can do. There are no close gaps on circuit regrettably. I wish we could see some battling now, but I think we just have to wait. We're right on board with Tixie. They're closing up to the back of Narrow Sergeant. Just see Narrow Sergeant outlined there, the Mercedes car coming through turn 8 now. Tixie's just pulled through the corner as well. The gap is going to be sub 3 seconds. 2.9 is the gap between the pair of them. You can just see in your frame as well. 2 more cars coming through turn at number 8 and 9. Noel Coleman and Enzo. Enzo has got better pace at this point than Noel. And both of them pretty low on the ERS charge. 5 tenths of a second. That is the gap right now between Enzo and Noel. Gotta check, yeah. Okay, I've not been muted. I think it'll be a bit embarrassing if I was muted all this time. But luckily, I've got my microphone enabled. As Tixie, 2.3 seconds back from now starting to close by quite a large margin. Here comes Enzo at 5 tenths of a second back from Noel Coleman. Noel Coleman not using any of his ERS down towards turn number 1. And Enzo, you can see they do want to go for this move because they're weaving. They're trying to not get the overspeed. As V-Bug unfortunately going for another spin at turn number 9. We're on board. Well, not on board anymore. We're on board with Enzo here in the Red Bull car. Still running that special livery. I do love this livery, so I'm glad we're getting to see it in action here. Saw Noel Coleman defending pretty aggressively with Nugget Box earlier on in this race. If Enzo's going to have that same treatment coming down the straight. Enzo switching it to the left-hand side, wheel to wheel, in towards the corner, and easy as you like. Enzo moving up into P4 on track, of course, with 3 seconds of time penalties coming later on in this Grand Prix. That means, at the end of this race, it means that Noel Coleman still provisionally holds the position. So they're going to begin at 24, with 4 laps to go this time by. Tixie is now only 1.4 seconds back from Narastaja. We could see our 3rd winner in 3 races. Of course, round 1 was won by Cello, I believe. And round 2 was won by Narastaja. Currently involved in a fight for P2. On track, of course, Lord Gaben is ahead at the moment by 2.4 seconds. But of course, with 6 seconds of time penalties to their name. So unless they get 6 of them removed, it is likely they're not going to keep either P1 or P2. I think they've had to settle for P3 in this race, which still is a very respectable drive. V-Bug, unfortunately, tires on the track. Kobe's retiring the pit lane. That makes it 2 retirements in this race. Ade being our 1st, now V-Bug being our 2nd. We do have DRS for Tixie on the back of Narastaja. Not close enough to go for the move, and even so they wouldn't be able to because yellow flag, so local through this sector. We'll see the flag car, yeah, still off to the side. They're back in the green flag positions. Which means that Tixie has got free reign to overtake Narastaja here. Battle for the lead that's all led up to this moment. These two of the quickest in qualifying. Of course, Nugget Box not able to enjoy this battle where they were in qualifying. We'll see what the Mercedes can do and what the Aston Martin can do to attack. And all this is happening. They've actually closed up to the back of Lord Gaben. So this is what I predicted, actually. That they'd all concertina up in the same part of the track. Here comes Tixie into turn number 1. I didn't expect it this early. It's around the outside into turn number 1. Job done. And just like that, the net lead switches hands. It goes away of Tixie. 4 laps on that set of the soft, a lot fresher than Narastaja. And now he's got to clear Lord Gaben. There they go, look at that, Lord Gaben. Really struggling. 18 laps on this set of the hard combat tyre. I don't even know if Tixie needs the ERS. Certainly Narastaja does. And now they're all going to close up in towards turn number 8 here. There goes Tixie through on Gabe N. What about Narastarja? Can he look up the inside line of Tixie? Not quite, but in towards the braking zone. He's had to take a tighter line. That's going to kill the run through turn number 9 off the exit there. Tixie in the lead of this race. Narastarja, P2, and Lord Gaben, in the space of just 2 corners, has lost 2 positions in this race. And Noel Coleman, once again, fighting it out with Emzo as they come into the frame here. Noel Coleman just ahead of Emzo, but what about off the exit towards turn number 9 and turn 10? Emzo has just about lost out on Noel Coleman. Both of these guys sub 10%. The ERS power has been cut in half. And now through turn number 10 now. The overspeed for Emzo. Trying to look around the outside of turn number 11. Up the inside now. Having a half look, but not close enough. Nugget Box closing up to this battle as well. Going to have best seats in the house as Emzo loses out on that position to Noel Coleman, who's come alive at this point in the Grand Prix. Still without any penalties, so still taking the position. Lap 26 has begun. We got 2 laps left in this Grand Prix here, folks. As Noel Coleman, he's now put himself in a bit of a vulnerable position. Nugget Boxes found their way back into this fight. They're going towards turn number 1. Emzo closing up to the rear of the Williams car, switching it to the inside line, the left-hand side, and goes up the inside to make that move stick through the first corner. What about Nugget Box off the exit here? Got fresher tyres by 2 laps to Noel Coleman. That could be the difference between the position or not between the pair of them. Certainly on track, and they could plan to take the penalty off if they do appeal it. Now Staja, we just caught the end of that one there. Not close enough to go for the move on Tixie. We'll have to watch that. We've got the final lap, but on to the Mistral Straight. Noel Coleman has just picked up a penalty. That is going to incentivize everyone to battle as hard as they can. Noel Coleman has kept it so clean for so long in this race, and now looks up the inside of Emzo in towards turn number 8. They've got to make this move on track now. They can't settle for anything less. As now off the exit here. Here comes Nugget Box. It's all kicking off with just 2 laps to go. Emzo to the inside of Noel Coleman, and now Nugget Box as well, trying to have a hard look in this battle as well as they fly through turn 10 and towards turn 11 here. Up the inside, can any of them going towards turn 11? The braking zone has long passed and through the apex of the corner. No move being made. Nugget Box having a half look up the inside of Noel Coleman. These guys were very close earlier on in this race. Contact between the pair of them. Wing to nose, and it's just about meant no damage for Nugget Box. I'm losing my train of words, and I'm certainly losing my voice at this point as well. Been commentating this epic race with only 13 drivers, and they've been able to put on a performance like this one here. It is astounding how they have done it, but I think we've got to cut away from the battle for P4 at the moment to cover the battle for the lead. As here they go, Tixie and Narastarja been fighting it out since the very beginning. If Narastarja doesn't make this move stick now, it's going to be the opportunity gone forever. So they are going to be closing up to the back of the Aston Martin car. Nothing that Tixie can do, because here it goes around the outside of turn number 8. The Aston Martin car having to defend on the inside. They're going to go wheel to wheel off the exit of turn number 9 and in towards turn number 10. Contact between the pair of them, and they're still going to run wheel to wheel, nose to. They're basically running side by side at this point. I don't believe it. Narastarja has taken P1 right at the end, but Tixie still can fight this one back, because here it comes through turn 11. Have they got the better run up the inside? Oh my goodness me, hitting the apex of the corner. They're still making contact between the pair of them, and this is brilliant stuff right at the death of this race. But I think Tixie has done enough, because there's not many places for Narastarja to overtake. Still taking a very tight line through turn number 13 up towards turn 14 now. They've not got the run. What about turn 15 into the braking zone? It's not going to be enough. DRS still could be enabled. Lap 27 of 27. It's going to go the way of Aston Martin. Tixie's going to take the win. And it's not all over here, because here comes Nugget Box as well, fighting out with Noel Coleman up the inside. Has he made this one work? No, Nugget Box. Oh dear, Noel Coleman. Looking up the inside, my voice completely gone. I don't even know what's happening anymore. Emzo's going to take 4th, 5th for Nugget Box, and 6th for Noel Coleman. Wow. How about that for a race, everyone? How about that? Oh my word. Brilliant stuff all around. I know that my microphone was getting pretty loud as well, so I do apologise. I can see it on OBS. I was just waiting for the last drivers to cross the line to finish their races. It's going to be Dicta smashing it into the wall. Oh dear. Yikes, I suppose. I don't know how that car's still moving. I didn't actually lose its wing. Danny White finishes in 9th. We're riding on board with Bubbles. Wow. I'd say pretty enjoyable stuff all around in this race. Look at those gaps though. Just 3.5 tenths splitting Tixie and Narastaja. Just 2 tenths splitting Emzo and Nugget Box, and then a further 3.5 tenths separating Nugget Box and Noel Coleman. Really is something special. Been a brilliant race. Been a joy to commentate on as well. I will admit. You know, Driver of the Day award on your screen as well. That went to Emzo. Coming out with the phone in hand, letting the Instagram followers know Tixie has won this race. Brilliant stuff all around. We'll have a full rundown of the results and we'll get ready to end the stream. So 1-2 for Finland today. Tixie and Narastaja. Aston Martin taking a full points from him. Full points haul. Lord Gaben as well with the one-stop strategy. Differentiating from everyone else. Has managed to keep that very nice and tidy. They're going to keep in 3rd. 4th for Emzo. 5th for Nugget Box. Fast lap as well for the Aston Martin. So it was a good day for the Silverstone based team. Cello in 7th. Sorry, I missed out Noel Coleman in 6th. 8th for Skillers. 9th for Danny Mike. And rounding out the top 10 is Bubbles. And then Dicta is in 11th. Viberg and Ade are your DNFs. So of course I do apologise if I've got any of these names wrong as well. As I'm not really familiar with any Scandinavian names or people. So I do apologise if that is the case. But I can close my F1 and you know what, we'll go back to the intermission stream.